Hello and welcome to Power Circle, South Asian Women in Business, the series where we shine a spotlight on trailblazing women who are redefining leadership, breaking barriers, and inspiring change. Today we are joined by someone truly special, Aladin Ali. She's a presenter, entrepreneur, wellness advocate, and performer whose mission is to uplift and empower. From creating her own shows at home to launching wellness brands and guiding others through transformation, Aladin embodies resilience, creativity, and innovation. We'll be exploring her journey from building businesses in wellness and skincare to her passion for tech and healing, and learning how she continues to inspire others while staying rooted in her South Asian identity. Let's dive into her story. Aladin, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Aladin, your journey has been remarkable from creating your own shows at home to becoming a presenter, entrepreneur, and wellness advocate. Can you tell us what first sparked your drive to step into such diverse fields?
Well, I think it started when I was a child,
Okay.
being brought up in a business environment,
Yeah.
being around, family who came from abroad, and at that time it's all about being self-employed and running their own business. And my father opened a business, and I remember when growing up, sitting in the restaurant. So he set up a restaurant, and I sat with my other siblings, and while my mum and my father worked really hard, and looking at the passion they had. And my mum, she used to cook in the kitchen, and my father used to be at the front. And for years of that, watching them working really hard, and that's why it inspired me to run my own business. I wanted to be different, not a woman in a kitchen or married. I wanted to be out the norm, So that's the inspiration started when I was younger, and as time went on, and being in that environment regarding family, and especially my mom, I think, my mom inspired me, being small, like 4 foot tall, slim, very quiet woman, always done things, to make the family happy. But in some funny way, she was an entrepreneur herself without knowing. She worked in a restaurant, she provided with family, and that she inspired me mostly. And years went by, and my father was never around. He was in Bangladesh all the time.
Right.
Worked here, took the money, like I think a lot of people understand, built a huge empire in Bangladesh, and we still working here. So my mom inspired me, and that kind of got me to a point that, like, I want to be a businesswoman. I want to be out the norm, because there wasn't really many kind of Asian women in business. They always were housewives or looking after the family. But I didn't feel I fitted into that role.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Okay. So coming back to like your background from Bangladesh, which part of Bangladesh your family hails from, and tell us more about that side.
Well, my family, she's from Sylhet, up
Sylhet.
north, as I'm sure a lot of people might know. And they, my family are from a village called Dulijura. It's near Mulay Bazar, up north. And I remember being in the village with no shoes and things like that, running about. I was born here, but I went to Bangladesh, and I just felt part of that culture. Even I was born here. It's amazing how you could be born here and then this has something in you, so there's a connection to that culture. So, Sylhet is where my family are from, and my father came here in the early 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you, like every vacations or like holidays, you used to go back to Bangladesh and see things in there as well? Yeah.
Yeah. When we financially could afford it, that is. Not every time that we could go to Bangladesh at that time. And after, it would be 4 or 5 years later, he would take us all. He used to travel, my father, a lot. And and had family there as well. I got a big sister as well there, who never came here, but she was born there, and she's a great grandmother.
Okay.
in Bangladesh, and we've got nephews and nieces and a lot of relatives. So we've traveled to see family. It was a really good experience, very enriching as I was growing up and as a child. And I just feel really connected.
Yeah.
Fun enough, yeah.
Excellent. You founded multiple businesses in wellness, skincare, and healing. Yeah. What inspired you to step into entrepreneurship?
Okay.
I know you mentioned about your background and everything. And what challenges did you face as a South Asian woman in this space, particularly in Scotland?
Well, firstly, stepping into the entrepreneurship side of obviously the inspiration of family, but also I wanted to make a difference. I want to, as I mentioned, I didn't want to be in a norm of a woman, Asian, but it's something in me was driving me. I was actually going against all the family norms, honestly. They said, you have to study, you have to do this, and you have to do that. But saying that, my family were very flexible. And when I actually did things on my own. There wasn't any support at that time. And it's something within me, I can't explain it. Nowadays, this opportunities and support. At that time, I didn't have mentorship. I didn't have support. I didn't have, my father wasn't around. My mum always worked, and she was a quiet woman. So what I would say that my kind of drive was my own self, my own resilience, a drive to change. And that's why I went into skincare and jewelry, because I was looking into a lot of brands. I'm thinking, I would use certain things. I'm thinking, no, I could do this better. And I could create something.
Yeah.
And even in jewelry, for example, here's an example. I was bringing up my son. I was a single mom. And then I thought, I was looking for jewelry. I couldn't find jewelry. And I thought, I could actually get good quality jewelry. I never traveled anywhere on my own. And suddenly I booked flights to Hong Kong, Bangkok.
Okay.
And
Far
then,
East.
yeah, I did that. And I just went online. I said, I'm going. I need to take that faith. Who's going to do it?
Exactly.
I need to do it. So I basically booked those flights and went and spoke to the manufacturers in Bangkok, and I went to Hong Kong as well. Spoke to manufacturers, made deals, brought my jewelry back, and I started a company.
Excellent.
And that's more of a within me, something so much strong that you can't really explain it. That's how I was driven.
So you were mentioning about your travels,
Yeah.
which you yourself started booking and traveling.
Yeah.
What was those travels teaching you? Like, what was the lessons you learned in those? Especially you mentioned, it's Far East.
Yeah.
And
Well, firstly, the lessons I've learned from that was when I started booking, the fear came into factor, being a woman, an Asian woman, and thinking, oh my God, I need to travel on my own, Asian. I don't know what I'm going to, who I'm going to interact with, and if people need to help me. And that was a fear, being on my own and doing it. I suppose if I was a man and doing it, it would be less fearful. But having that traveling on your own was a fear, and especially a country I've never been to. So overcoming that, even to the last minute, I thought, do I need to go? Oh my God, I was going to change my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, I need to overcome this fear, right? And something in me had the biggest trust. I felt that I had to trust something much higher than me, and I had trust in God, and I trust in my spirituality is very strong. And I thought, I will be looked after. That's what I made. And that's when I got onto a plane.
Yeah.
And amazing things happened on the plane is that I started to meet people, and they said to me, where are you going? I said, blah, blah. They said, are you on your own? Yes, yeah, I'm on my own. And then they said, don't worry. They suddenly said, we'll get you a taxi. We'll make sure you go to the right place. I didn't ask for it. They did that. As soon as I landed, they got me a taxi, and I got onto the hotel. Even in the hotel, being in Bangkok as a woman in your own, an Asian, not a good idea, right? And then I met a couple from New Zealand in a hotel, and they said, oh, you shouldn't be on your own. Because I know where I am on my own. They said, well, stick with us. We're going to the market, come with us. Do not go on your own. And that's why I stick with them. So on my journey, it taught me to have trust in people, taught me to have no fear, taught me to have power beyond myself, taught me that it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or Asian. If you have a belief, you have faith, you want to do something, go and do it.
Yes, yes.
That's
a very, very nice way to put it, especially our audience, our viewers. We have young South Asian girls who's actually watching this show. It's very inspiring to say that, take that decision, be bold and go for it.
I think so. I think fear holds us back.
Exactly.
And how we are brought up, and it takes courage, and I'm not going to say it's easy. It takes courage, and it's taking that first step, because the unknown is scary for a lot of people, and it's very easy to go back to the past because of the known. And not past of our own, past of the people that we know will give us advice. We follow, and most times it's incorrect, because someone said, "Don't do it. This will happen," and then we have this fear.
Yes.
So go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So coming to your wellness drink brand, you're developing a wellness drink brand and a skincare line, which is quite unique as it's. How did you identify the need for these products, particularly these products, and what makes your brand stand out? Because it's a world of brands, especially in the area like wellness and skincare. And how did you identify that?
Well, firstly, I started a skincare brand because, firstly, as a woman, I use skincare and doing a lot of research. Women have to do research for our skin, and especially our own skin. And the more research I did, I realized a lot of skincare had a lot of preservatives, a lot of chemical base. And from the young age, I was very tuned in to not using those creams, and I thought it's not good for our skins. So I've done a lot of research on that side for many years, and I thought there isn't really much going on. So when I was developing my skincare brand, at that time, think about Body Shop. It wasn't even well known at that time. I'm talking about a long time. When I had my skincare, and that's when Body Shop came in, and that's when organic came in, and obviously people got to know. So that's when I started to develop my skincare brand. I thought there's something that I had a lot of challenges. I'm going to tell you that. Firstly, challenges of convincing people that I could do it, right? Approaching councils, approaching organizations for funding. They would look at me and think, no, that won't do well, So I think as a woman, that has been a challenge, trying to get funding and get a business up and running, even skincare. And I've never given up. That's a great thing. I kept it going. I managed to create my packaging. I managed to find a manufacturer in Scotland, because I wanted a Scottish brand. I wanted to made in Scotland. As being born in Scotland, I wanted to give back something to Scotland. And that's the reason I created a skincare. But the amazing thing was I was doing a lot of fairs and craft fairs and hauling boxes and physical work and hard work. And you could be standing in the rain all day and not make a single penny. That was the time. And then it led me to my wellness brand and my drink. Now, you might say, how did I want to start that? As I mentioned, for many, many years, I've done research on nutrition and health as well. I'm helping people with MS and a lot of diabetes and all that already on nutrition and health. And I realized that also looking at women's health, and one of the people that I've been mainly work with, usually women come to me for advice. And I was, for many years, for the last 40 years, women been coming for advice to me. And I always give advice, free advice, give away. And then I realized, this issues, this gaps in the market. And I've done my own research online, research in the Mitchell Library, and I realized, there's a lot of brands, but there's not many brands focusing on women's health. And I wanted to help women, and the amount of people I've worked for over the hundreds and hundreds of women over the years, realized that this was a gap. But the thing about this drink, it's not just a drink. People forgetting it's not a drink. There's 2 drinks that I've created with my recipe. I created the recipe. I've worked with the universities last year. We developed the recipes and we've tested the recipes, and we've been in the Highland show this year. 80% of the women said they love it, they want to buy it. I've already started getting a huge waiting list for it. But the drink as I said, it's got an application next to an app,
Okay.
which is a technology that is linked to the drink.
Linked to the drink.
Yes, so that's going to be unique.
Okay.
So there's a USP to it. I was discussing yesterday in the pitch yesterday I was doing, and I said there's a technology. So we're using AI technology within an application, linking to the drink.
Okay.
Will make the whole, yes.
That's something very unique, and I'm really looking forward to see what that is.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant that you got that niche about that market, that particular product is niche in there. Now, many women struggles with balancing creativity, business, and community work. Okay, especially in the modern world of information age, and everyone is busy. Yeah. So how have you managed to keep that balance across all your different ventures? Because you were talking about tech to wellness. So how do you create that balance?
Yeah, it's challenging creating a balance, and especially women also. I think more and more we've got family and other stuff to deal with.
Yes.
People ask me that question, Aladin, how can you do so many things?
Yeah.
How can you keep balance? Don't you have time for yourself? And all these questions. I said, really, do I have time for myself? Oh, not really. But I think that the most important thing for me, I realize that is I love everything I do.
Okay.
When you love everything you do, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel it's hard work. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I would say, okay, my body is important.
Yeah.
I'll either go to a gym, right? So I'll go for a sauna, if I go to a swim.
Okay.
So I'll have that in the morning. That is a priority, because with your body, if you're not fully functional, you can't really do anything else. So that is one of my priorities I do. I have that in the morning. I'll meditate for a while, and then I'll go and do my emails and meetings, and I'll kind of in the middle of the day, and I'll work in the evenings as well. If I need to catch up, I'll work in the evenings with my social media, and sometimes I'll work till 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
Okay, but the thing is, I do take care of myself. I do go for massages, because I know my body will tell me.
Yes.
So having a balance, yes, I look at my family and I think, okay, I need to give my time to my son, and I'll the weekends, let's go for a walk. We'll do that. So in my funny enough, women have a weird way, and I don't know, maybe a lot of women may agree with that. We seem to balance things really, really well.
And multitask at the same time.
Multitask. And don't tell me how we do it, because we do it. We have to. It's like we built in.
It's built in.
Technology. It's a built-in technology. Forget about AI. We women are crazy. So
Exactly.
it's a thing that I think we have within ourselves, and we manage to do everything.
Yeah.
And yes, I've got 2 or 3 ventures going side by side, but because I always say to people, what is my core thing that drives me is spirituality.
Yeah.
That, if I have that right, everything else flows.
Yes. Yes. I can see that, and then I can sense that as well.
So, yeah.
So your work has a strong emphasis on wellness, healing, and resilience, which we have already started seeing. How important do you think wellness is in this business world? Because you mentioned about taking care of yourself before you go, you start your day. Yeah. So how important do you think wellness is important today, especially in this world for women leaders?
Yeah.
That's very important to highlight that.
Yes.
Because although I see a lot of men just can literally walk away from certain responsibilities, I'm not generalizing for the audience, let me saying that. A majority of men tend to walk away, while women has this, as you mentioned, the inbuilt multitasking and being considered to be taking care of everything by others. So how do you think that this wellness helps?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about women in business and women, generally women, what I find, they seem to ignore the wellness side quite regularly, because they're so busy in life, looking after family and business and career and other things. And I speak to a lot of women who say, I don't have time to look after myself. And then the effects of it, eventually is physically, affects them emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
And those are the women I get back always come to me for advice because they don't have time, because, and also family responsibilities and cultural thing going on about women have to do everything. And I'm not saying nowadays, one of the things I feel that even with technology is huge, and we're supposed to make our life easier.
Yeah.
But I think it's making our life difficult because we're so driven by persona of other people, other businesswomen, how they look and things. One of the things I would say to a lot of women out there that is, especially Asian women, that they don't really look after themselves, that they should. They should do that first. I know they got family responsibility. I know they got careers, but if you don't look after yourself, who will look after you? And then if you're ill, who's going to look after your family?
Exactly.
So that thing it takes a bit of time to look after yourself, make space. And everyone keeps saying, I don't have time. We could all have time if we really wanted to. Sometimes we make excuses. Somehow that comes into play. I've noticed that. And I said, no, you do have time. Oh, but I have to do this. It's a case of inbuilt, conditioning, I think, that women have.
Yeah.
And I did it. Honestly, I'm telling you, I for many years I did that because I had to look after so many people, do my business, and I always had excuses, but then it started to affect my health.
Yeah.
And that's when I took control, realizing who's going to look after my son. And I said, no, I need to be first.
Yeah.
And I think, and the thing is also about self-care.
Yeah.
People say it's selfish. Do you know the word say, oh, you need to go for a massage, or you're selfish because you didn't make my dinner today, or you didn't do the washing today. It's amazing how that guilt thing comes into play.
Guilt. Yes.
So I would say to women, self-care is not being selfish.
Yes.
It's self-care, it's self-love.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the thing
important.
that women need to understand. And I always say that, you're going to run a business and you've got many wonderful things happening in your life.
Yeah.
Take time out for yourself. You are a foundation. If foundation breaks, everything else will fall.
Yeah.
And women are usually the foundations of the family.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what it is. Now, coming to the final question of this segment. What practices, you already mentioned about how you start your day. What practices do you personally use to stay grounded and positive while juggling so many projects? From what I understand from so far the conversation is you have multiple projects going simultaneously. So what are the practices you take?
Well, one of my practices is, as I mentioned, about meditation. Meditation is one of my key practices. I do at night before I go to sleep and in the morning. Other things, I do things like, I go to the gym, I'll do a bit of yoga, or if I can't even go to that, I'll go for a walk in nature.
Yeah.
Nature I feel really grounded in nature, even touching a tree, if I could walk barefoot on the grass. That is a connection that is unbelievable. And we should be going out in nature and more connection. And even leaving your laptop for a while, family, go for half an hour walk, lunchtime, rather than staying in the office, go for a walk in nature. So that's something I do regularly. Nothing I do is consciously decide to be around positive people. The negativity of people could really drain me. I have been around people and I come out and I'm exhausted. I have realized my value of my energy. I am making choices now. I could make a choice either I want to be around that person or not. And unfortunately, a lot of people I've come and spoke to that they always say, you know what, I've got family members who are negative and I can't get out and I feel exhausted. And I would say, we all have a choice. We do have a choice. Either we could go into another room. We may not get out of that same house, but we could go to another room. So to me, I make a choice of friends. It's very important. I let go of friends that I don't think is no longer my priority. So my energy is important. Meditation, I'll mention, exercise. Having a peaceful mind is my key. If something happening in my head, I have to step back and really reflect what's the cause of it and make those changes. Self-development is high in my agenda. Like I'll find courses and groups, and I'll just go there for learn about me. It's not about other people, it's about me. How can I improve myself so I could give back better to others? And self-development, I'll go to courses, I'll go to groups, I'll do all these things I will do. And I do seem to fit it in, funny enough,
Yeah.
you know. I will listen to YouTube channels, I'll go to YouTube, only listen to positive music, mantras, all those things in the morning, and get my state in a good state, mental state, physical state, and my spiritual, emotional state.
Excellent.
And yeah, I just feel I want to be in a calmer state. So all those practices I do.
Yeah.
Eating healthy is another thing.
Yeah.
I do look into organic stuff and things like that. So all those things, practices, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Aladin, and I can't wait for more to hear from you about the next segment as well. It's about your entrepreneurship, your journey to AI support and things
Yeah.
like that. So, well, what we heard from Aladin Ali is truly inspirational. It's about how you do self-development to promote yourself, to be positive. And also one of the key takeaway which I would take from today, and of course your audience would have seen that as well, is self-care is not being selfish. It's about self-love. Without you, who is the foundation, nothing can happen. So until we hear more from Aladin on the next episode, it is Ranjit Shankaranarayanan signing off today's episode on the Power Circle. See you next time.